What do you say? Good job. Good morning. My name is Sam. My pronouns are they, them, and welcome to my backyard. So, I'm running late today, so we're multitasking. We've got Sadie clopping around, doing her little thing. But I wanted to do a quick check-in just to say that today I will be starting The Four Profound Weaves by R.B. Lemberg, which I have no idea what it's about, honestly. And I'm also going to start my Charlie Jane Anders audiobook. I think that's how today's going to go. So, let's have a quick Sadie break, and then we will go to work. Hello. So it's 6 o'clock and I have gotten a lot of my audiobook done. Let's see. We are currently just under 10 hours in, so we've only got like 4 hours to go on it. And it's really good so far. I'm really enjoying it. So it's about this society, this human society who was originally on Earth, but Earth died, whatever, and many, many, many generations ago they came to another planet where there were like super extremes. Like, it was either always day or always night for the most part. So they were able to live in it, but only in very, very specific areas. So there are two main societies. I'm not remembering the actual names of the societies right now, but the one that we originally started with was very controlled by the government. And they were just like, this is when you sleep, this is when you don't sleep. And they like always told you like exactly what time of the day it was, even though like we didn't have like the movement of the sun. So it was like super strict, super crazy. Like, if you were caught out after curfew when you were supposed to be sleeping, or if you were caught like talking when you were supposed to be sleeping, like there were major consequences. And we start with Sophie and Bianca, who are these two like college kids or whatever, and they kind of get into this revolutionary group, and it's like, it's not really very much of anything, but ultimately Bianca gets into a little bit of trouble. Sophie takes the fall for it, and the government is just like, nope, you're outie 5,000, and tries to kill her by throwing her into the darkness where there are creatures that wish her harm for the most part. But instead of these creatures killing her, one of them saves her and begins communicating with her. So it's all pretty much focused around that for the most part. On the other side of it, we follow Mouth and I think Adrian or Adriana. I don't really remember. She's not like the most memorable character to me, and I think that's because she's like a fairly neutral character in my mind. Like, I don't despise her or anything. And they are another portion of the story, and I think where it's going, it's kind of like it's like, here's Sophie and Bianca, one of them's bad, one of them's good. Here's Moth and her friend. And it's like, they're both kind of neutral in a sense, but Mouth is like on their own kind of spiritual journey, and they kind of get pulled into Sophie and what she's kind of got going on with these creatures. So I enjoy it so far. I'm not the biggest fan of sci-fi, but my favorite thing about Charlie Jane Anders is that she writes the best unlikable characters. Oh, she writes the best characters, like the characters that you learn to hate the most. And like it always starts out small. Like it's never like an instant hate, but it's just like it's a very gradual build up of, God, I hate this character. And you know what? That's hard to do, but it's amazing. She does a fantastic job at it. I'm really enjoying this one so far. I won't finish it tonight because it's my audiobook and I'm going to keep reading it tomorrow at work. So you'll have to go to tomorrow's vlog if you want to see my final thoughts on it. As of right now, I'm about to get started on The Four Profound Weaves by R.B. Lemberg. I still have no idea what it's about. So, let's get started. I did not close this out last night because I got tired and my back hurt. And you know what? If you have back pain, you should buy a heated mattress pad because it solves all of your problem. So I'm on page like 50 of The Four Profound Weaves, and so far what I understand, this is about obviously the Four Profound Weaves. So there's like the one of wind, which is for transformation or change. There is like the one of song, there's like the one of sand, and then there's the one of death. Sand is for wanderlust, song is for hope, and then the death is for death, obviously. So we're following the nameless man and Weavia, I think. And the nameless man is in his 60s, and he just very recently completed his change, which is like a transition, and he is specifically looking for Uzia's. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering that. He is looking for her aunt, Beverett, who is a master weaver and who had previously, 40 years before, given him his weave of wind, and she gave him her weave of song. One was for a trade and one was for his future transition. So now he has come to her after losing both of his partners and being like betrayed by his community, so she can name him. And Uzziah has come to find her aunt who was exiled, so she can finally teach her the last weave, the weave of death, so she can also become a master weaver. So far, it's a lot of like traveling through the desert so far, and a lot of like talking, building things up, which is not a bad thing. I think it's very interesting. I really enjoy the comparison between the nameless man's original homeland and the desert that he now lives in, because the homeland, like, people, what he says is like people didn't change, and it was very separate between men and women constantly, and how hard of a time he's having transitioning out of that mindset of womanhood because he has no reference point of what men are really supposed to be like in his original community because they were so separate. So all he really knows is womanhood. So now he's having a really hard time in the desert where he is now. And I'm also really enjoying the desert where he is now, and the conversations that are being had about the change of like changing from man and woman, and the validation of being like in this in-between state. One of his grandchildren, I think their name is Kimmy, is in this in-between state, and they don't speak, and they're just very accepted and normal. Like, it's not even really a surprise to anyone around. It's more of a surprise to the nameless man because it's not something that he had ever seen or even really knew. So yeah, that's where that's where we're at so far. I am really, really enjoying this so far, and I'm hoping that it continues to go well. I'm hoping that we get into a little bit more of a discovery state of things, and we're having less of those introductory conversations, because I think 50 pages is like enough of that. And I feel pretty solid in where I stand on the concepts that I need to know going forward. One thing that I do know is that this book is supposed to be around like the bird verse, which is something that the author has been doing for quite a while. And it's like a bird creature comes to you in death. And let me just tell you, I was talking to my life partner last night, just freaking out about this bird creature because I don't like birds. And I was like, you know what, in my time of death, can I reframe my concept of what a bird is and think of Mothman as a bird, so therefore Mothman comes when I die? And I was entirely sober for this conversation. She was not. She got overwhelmed. So thanks RB Lemberg for helping me to overwhelm my life partner at 8 p.m. on a Tuesday. So yeah, that's where we're at. So I haven't finished anything today, but you know, it's 4:30 a.m. I'm up and moving and grooving like I like to be. So let's get today going, and hopefully I'll finish some books today. How is everyone else doing? What is everyone else reading? I hope that this readathon is going so well for you, because it is bringing me such immense amounts of joy. So yeah, I will see everyone in a little while for the day 3 vlog. Bye.